Hello, I'm Death, doing toy reviews. Let's talk about that.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Sonny, you've kissed my wife. Baby, my heart's on fire.
Today we are reviewing another figure from the Marvel Spider-Man Legends series, one of the villains of the night set. Normally with action figures, I don't waste my time with minor characters from a comic book series, but for some reason this one really speaks to me. Maybe it's the reaping sickle accessory. Maybe it's the flaming head, or maybe it's the weird striped disembodied leg that comes with it. But for whatever reason, I take great pride in reviewing the 6-inch figure of Marvel's Jack-O-Lantern. Some have dissed Jack-O-Lantern as a ripoff of the Green Goblin, but in the comic book series he has taken on his own life as a mercenary. This is the box that it comes in, with pictures of other figures that come in its set, as well as all 7 of the other figures that you can use to complete the Build-A-Figure for Absorbing Man. The box has a typical multilingual bio. These nightmarish villains torment the innocent and fight to take down Spider-Man. What a boring life. But let us remove Jack-O-Lantern from his package and review him properly. And here is Jack-O-Lantern out of his package. This figure uses the same body type as a pair of other figures in the Marvel Legends line, with a different head. The head is suitably fearsome with a evil Jack-O-Lantern face and plastic flames bursting out of its eyes and from the nape of its neck. In the comic books, Jack-O-Lantern was a mercenary, and the body type does seem to fit that, with a sculpted harness and a belt with pumpkin bombs attached to it. The paint applications have a sort of mottled appearance to it, which lends itself well to a pumpkin-like Jack-O-Lantern. It has silver highlights on the belt, but most of the body is a solid greenish-brown color. One of the accessories is a translucent flaming pumpkin bomb. It has a sculpted Jack-O-Lantern face on it, and flames sticking up from the top. You have to force the plastic fingers out of place, and even then you see it has a tendency to popping out. My solution? Poster putty. You can pick up a packet of poster putty at most stores like Walmart or craft stores like Hobby Lobby. A tiny glob of it in the hand will allow the figure to hold the bomb accessory without any worry about it falling out. Got a handful of fire. The next accessory for Jack-O-Lantern is a reaping sickle weapon. The paint applications give it a sort of mottled, rusty appearance, which lends itself well to this style of weapon. Believe me, I know. You will have to push the plastic fingers, which are slightly flexible, out of the way and squeeze it into the handle grip. As you see, it takes some fiddling to get the fingers through the grip and push it into the hand to hold properly. The entire figure seems to be made up of a rather soft plastic, and that includes the reaping sickle, which the blade corkscrews out slightly. I may have to try that myself to see if it's better for harvesting souls. The last accessory is a jet broomstick, which the Jack-O-Lantern uses as his mode of transportation. In the comic book, Jack-O-Lantern used a pogo platform for transportation, which was a random, bouncy, goofy way to fly. A jet broomstick, of course, was how the Green Goblin made his start before they wisely ditched the broomstick for the iconic Bat Goblin glider. But with the advent of the Harry Potter movies, Marvel has apparently decided that it is no longer fruity to have a dude riding around on a broomstick, and so they have brought it back for Jack-O-Lantern. Unfortunately, the jet broomstick was poorly implemented for this figure. It takes a lot of fiddling and fussing to get it into any kind of pose which allows the figure to ride the broomstick properly. You must push and force the fingers out of the way before you can get it to hook around the handle grip. Having him holding it in his hand does make him more stable when standing him because it allows you to use the jet broomstick as a tripod for support. Unfortunately, the way the figure is articulated and the way the foot stirrups are tilted means that this is one of the only poses where you can actually get Jack-o'-lantern to maintain the pose without worrying about the broomstick falling out or the feet unhooking from the stirrups. Because the head will not tilt upward, it means that riding the broomstick forwards means that Jack-o'-lantern must always be staring at the ground so he can't see where he's going. Thump. And tilting the broomstick upwards so that you can see the face makes it look as if Jack-o'-lantern is doing something that he shouldn't be doing. In all other poses, the broom is either too high, too low, tilted awkwardly to the side, or keeps nudging the feet off of these holding stirrups. In appearance and for general stability, the Jack-o'-lantern figure actually looks better mounted on one of the Goblin glider figures, whether it be from the movie or miscellaneous. It simply works better than the broomstick accessory that it actually came with. It is part of a Build-A-Figure set, which comes with the left leg of the Absorbing Man. Ironically, the Absorbing Man leg piece seems to be more solid and have better quality plastic than the figure itself. It has a double-jointed knee and a tiltable foot with a soft cuff around the pant leg, which allows you to pose the foot very slightly. As I have no intention of buying all the figures to complete the Absorbing Man, anyone who wants the left leg by itself may contact me at my email address at the end of this video. The Marvel Legends figures share a basic body articulation setup. Most of them have tiltable heads, and Jack-o'-lantern's head will tilt very slightly forward, but the joint is extremely tight due to this plastic fringe which makes up the flames. However, it will rotate 360 degrees. The shoulders have a very strong ratchet inside them for rotating backwards and forwards. It is also a ball socket joint which will allow the arm to extend upwards and downwards. It has a double-jointed elbow for some good posability at the elbows. There is also a wrist swivel, but there is no wrist tilt. It has a hinged upper body, which will allow it to be leaned forwards and backwards. And there is also waist rotation. It has a standard Marvel Legends style ball-socketed hip with a hinge in it which allows the leg to swing forwards and backwards, and also rotate at the thigh. As with the elbow, the knee is double-jointed, allowing for some strong posability. The feet, however, will only tilt backwards. They will not tilt forwards because the joints are too tight, and also because this plastic sculpting gets in the way. The legs are extremely thin and have a tendency towards bowing in the middle, but bowing in the wrong way, which is to say inwards instead of outwards. The plastic itself is relatively weak, and even straight out of the package, the elbows feel loose and floppy, as well as the knees and the feet. For size comparison, here is Jack-o'-lantern next to Hero's mashup Green Goblin. Here is Jack-o'-lantern next to the spectacular Spider-Man. Here is Jack-o'-lantern next to Spider-Man's first movie, Green Goblin. And here is Jack-o'-lantern next to Pop Funko's Pumpkin King. Due to the Halloween theme of Jack-o'-lantern, the sickle, and other cool aspects like the flaming head, I wanted to give it a high score. However, there are simply too many flaws in the plastic and the joints and in the accessory setup. I give Marvel Legends Jack-o'-lantern 6 out of 10 deaths. Sorry about that, Jack. But mine's bigger.
If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone, oh baby. Tell them all and tell me I'm your own.